All right. Let's go. Yes, we are talking about the 5P transformation and the personalities in this transformation, the personalities that love this class, the personalities that love this class, the overthinker, the overthinker. Our overthinkers, where are you? If you are stuck, if you're frustrated, if you're not sure, if you're unmotivated, this class is specifically for you. If you're an overthinker, if you're a doubter, if you fear everything, this is all about you. It is particularly for you. This session is live. There are no pre-recorded videos. It's just real transformation talk. It's a real complete transformation. And so with that being said, we're going to talk about the five different personalities. So if you're stuck, hi Lee, how you doing? If you are stuck, good morning, my friend. If you're stuck, if you're unmotivated, if you're frustrated, if you don't feel like it, and we talk about feelings a little bit because emotions can get in the way, right? This class is for you because we deal not just, feelings are involved, yes, but we also deal in logic. And so I'm talking about the 5 personality types, the top 5 that do really well in this class, okay? And first and foremost, the number one person I like to talk to all the time is the overthinker. Because in class, good morning, everyone. Please continue to tap your screen. As you tap, you'll see the line go across to the right, which will invite more people in. But what happens is our overthinker, we stay in the mind trap a lot. Why do we do that? Because we tend to overthink everything. And so for a person that's an overthinker, this type of person is stuck in research mode or even not analysis paralysis, but not just in research mode, but in perfectionism, right? They're overthinking. I can't start until this is perfect. I can't start until this is done. And so let's not stay in research mode. Let's not think that we're making the wrong choice. This is the overthinker. That's what happens, right? They're overthinking everything, right? And so when we talk about perfectionism, it literally has to be tip top. And that's the thing with an overthinker. They do not make a move. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. They don't make a move. And so because they don't make a move, that is what happens, right? They're overthinking it and they will not make a move because they want it to be perfect. I've got news. Nothing is ever perfect. It's just not going to happen. But you're going to learn in the 5P process how to stop doing it, right? How to stop overthinking, and you're actually shifting the mind. Where we stay the longest is in the mind trap. You're actually shifting the mind. We're breaking free from the over-analysis, over-analyzing. Being aware of every single thing is fine, but when you over-analyze it, then the paralysis comes in, right? So what do they need? They need someone to help them plan and practice. An overthinker, they're not moving because they're over planning. However, or they want perfection. However, what we're doing is we're not only planning, but we're practicing. Why do we need practice? We need practice because that's what's going to build your confidence to continue on. An overthinker stops and they overthink everything and they don't make a move, right? So that's what we're talking about. If you have analysis paralysis, then this class is for you. Then we also have the self-doubter. Who on here is a self-doubter? Before they make a move, they're not sure. Constantly second guessing themselves. Constantly wondering if it's okay. Worried about what other people think. Stop worrying about what other people think. I'll say it again for the people in the back. Stop looking for validation. Stop worrying about what other people think. Why is that so important? Because if you're worried about what other people think, that means you're not giving thought to the positivity that could be going out. You're not giving thought to your purpose, your passion. You're not giving thought to how you could have more confidence as soon as you take action, right? So you have to practice. You have to practice. You have to practice. Right? So with that being said, we're talking about the top 5 personality types and those that really enjoyed the 5P transformation class. In this class, just to be clear, this is not a pre-recorded class. This is not something that you take and you look in and you actually see recorded videos. I am facilitating the class. I think we've gone a little overboard on pre-recorded videos. That is not what this is. This is a class where I'm actually facilitating it. And as I facilitate, I'm getting feedback. We're talking some things through. This is a beautiful class where you actually get real strategies on how to handle some of the situations that you're in. Right? And that's why it's called the 5P transformation, because your life literally is going through a transformative experience as you're in the actual class. I'll tell you something that one of the students said. She said, and I love this statement. She said, "You literally have decluttered my mind and my life. You've decluttered my mind and my life. I can see light at the end of the tunnel." And so with that being said, if you're overthinking, if it has to be perfect, if you're a doubter, if you need validation, if you're someone that's always busy, but you're busy with distractions. I just hit a sore note there. Excuse me, guys. I just hit a sore note there. If you're always busy, but you're busy with distractions, that means that you're not working your purpose. That means that you're never really progressing because you don't have a process. Thank you so much for the likes. That means that you're spreading yourself too thin. If you're always frustrated, if you're always tired, if you're not sure what's coming next, if you have challenges with how to have a process so you can progress, then that means that this 5P transformation is for you, right? So one of the things that I've talked about quite a bit are these top 5 personalities, right? Analysis paralysis, the overthinker, right? If you're an overthinker, this is for you. If you're a self-doubter, this is for you. If you're always busy but never progressing, this is for you, right? Busy but stuck. Right? If you're seeking comfort, if you're scared to move, you love the routine, but you won't get out of your comfort zone, you're not getting out of your comfort zone, then this is for you. If you are a starter, but you lack follow through, this live is for you, right? Because we're talking about life transformative actions. Why do I say that? Because all the time, one of the things that we considerably lack in thinking about is that we don't think about the trap that we have that's right here. And as we move throughout this trap, and when I say move throughout, because our mind goes in 18 different thoughts every day, as we move throughout this trap, we don't consider the loop that we remain in. And when I say the loop, I'm talking about the consistent lack of responses that we get from life. And why do I say lack thereof? Because life responds, but if we don't learn from what we've just done, then we continue in that loop. We continue in the same loop over and over and over again. So if you are a person that is looking for to move past self-doubt, if you're frustrated, if it has to be perfect, if you're looking for validation, this is for you. If you're the doubter, if you're the serial starter. What is a serial starter? Someone who continues to start project after project after project after project. But there's no follow through, there's no completion. And if it's not completed, then guess what happens? Guess what happens? You go right back in the loop to trying to start it again, or you start it again and you don't complete it. What about ones that are the dreamers? Hi, Rama. Thank you for joining. What about ones that are the dreamers? I've got any dreamers on here? You're a dreamer, but you're too scared to make the next step. You're a dreamer, but you're too scared to make the next step. Where are my distractors? Where are my distractors? Thank you so much for the likes. Where are my ones that are distracted? You start strong, but you lose focus. If you're distracted, then you need plan and practice. If you're a dreamer, you need action. Hey, Summer, good morning, my friend. How are you? Right? So the 5P transformation is it's something for everyone. You're a dreamer. Listen, those dreamers, you got big ideas, big thoughts. But we don't take the next step. We don't move. Why are we fearful of the next step? Why are we fearful of the next step? And you know what the beauty of this class is? And I'm going to say this. This class gives you the capacity to move past whatever your limiting belief is. I don't care what the limiting belief is. I don't care if you procrastinate. I don't care if you're a dreamer. I don't care if you're a doubter. I don't care if you are a person that's burnt out. I don't care if you're a serial starter. I don't care what it is. The thing is, it gives you the capacity to move past the limiting belief, right? What about the skeptic? Someone who's skeptical. All of those things are going to hold you in a place where you can't move past it. And if it holds you there, if it's holding you there, then that means that you're not living out your purpose and your passion in life. Happy Thursday. Good morning. This is Thoughtful Thursday or Thankful Thursday. Some people like to call it, Ashley. Good morning, right? So I want you to expand your capacity for success. What does that look like? When we talk about expanding or your capacity, if your capacity is here, and I love this because I had to talk to my son about this recently. You have the capacity for this much. Not comfortable with that. Well, you know what? Rama, I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to pin that, Rama. I've got to pin that. I'm going to come back to that. Okay? If you have this much capacity, right? Matter of fact, I'm going to use this as a plate. Imagine this is your plate. Right? You've got food all in the plate. It's full. It's full to its capacity. Guess what needs to happen? You have to move something away in order to put something in. So the capacity that you have is like this. As you begin to take things out, you can let some things in. And as you let things in, your capacity gets fuller or wider and wider and wider. If we don't have that sort of capacity, it's because it's too many things that are in. We need to let go of something, right? We have to let go of something in order for our capacity to widen. And as long as that capacity is not widening, then we remain stuck. And so that's why I said, if you are a dreamer, if you are someone who's doubtful, fearful, frustration, you're not motivated, the 5P transformation is for you. Now, Rama, you don't want to fail. Here's the thing. This is how I'm starting. I've had to explain this belief piece to people. Your beliefs. Oh, thank you, Ashley. Join the class. Join the class. It's a one-time investment, $87. It's a live class. It is not literally, to be clear, it is not something where you're watching recorded videos. This is an interactive, we are talking this through class, right? Rama, I'm coming back to you. Sweetheart, this is how we have to look at beliefs. This is how we have to look at beliefs. We have to look at beliefs based on evidence, right? You said, I don't want to fail. I'm not comfortable with others. You don't know if you're going to fail unless you actually try it. That's number one, right? Number two is when you try it, nothing is a failure if you learn from it. That's number two. Number three, when you dust yourself off and get back on the horse, I like to call it a horse, right? When you dust yourself off and get back on the horse, guess what happens? You haven't failed. You're learning from experience. Do you understand that, Rama? Did you get that? Are you getting that, right? So when we talk about failing, when we talk about being uncomfortable, when we talk about doubting, when we're talking about we want the capacity to have success, we want to do these things. Listen, we have to be unabashedly, like completely aware of who we are. I think that's great. But I think we complicate it. And people will tell you that, listen to me, I don't like complicated. I don't like complex. I like practical. I didn't say easy. I said practical, right? So when we talk about not wanting to fail, when we talk about not being comfortable with those things, literally, when it gets in our mind, it limits us. And when it limits us, it stifles our capacity to move forward. And if it stifles our capacity to move forward or to do other things, then what will happen is we will never, ever, ever see the full benefit of what we could do. And if we can't see the full benefit of what we could do or what the possibilities and the opportunities are, guess what happens? You've just removed yourself from a journey that would be so beautiful. You've removed yourself from a journey that would be so beautiful. Thank you for that, Ashley. I appreciate that, right? So as we talk about the different types of personalities that enjoy this class. If you are a dreamer, if you are a doubter, if you are easily distracted, if you are a people pleaser, I love that one. If you are a procrastinator, I love that one because I was the number one procrastinator ever, right? So when we talk about those sorts of things, the 5P transformation breaks it down. And when it breaks it down, it does it in such a way where it's not complex. It's not complex. It is not something that will have you tossing and turning at night. You know what it does? It actually relieves you of some of the challenges that you've been having. And most of those challenges are here. And because they are here, this is where we spend a day and a half here on the mind and understanding what that looks like and understanding how it impacts you and understanding some of the behaviors that you may have done. Right? So this class is not something that just goes strictly off of, how I feel. No, it's using logic. And when we fail to use logic, everything gets blurry. When we fail to use logic, everything gets blurry. And so once it's blurry, then we begin to make decisions that impact us quite often in a negative capacity. And if that decision impacts us negatively, then we've got to dig ourselves back out of the hole. And that's okay, right? Keep in mind, I had to tell my friend this, keep in mind, this is our first time being human. We're human. This is my first time being human. This is your first time being human. Why not take the opportunity to know and understand, or at least relieve yourself, or at least start the process of removing the fearful dreamer, removing the chaoticness, removing doubt, getting motivated, knowing and understanding who you are, learning that through a process. Why not? Right? So if you're an overthinker, this is for you. If it has to be perfect, this is for you. If you're a people pleaser, this is for you. If you're the procrastinator, this is for you. If you're the dreamer, this is for you. If you're easily distracted, this definitely is for you. And here's why I say that. When we talk about distracted easily, we have to train our mind to remain focused. The reason we can't do it, I shouldn't say we can't. The reason that we have such a challenge is because everything's coming at us 24/7. And now we've gotten to a mode of just turning. It's like a squirrel, dog. What? Wait, right? And so when we get to that point, what happens is we find that we're not doing anything. I've done this, and this. I started this, and this. And now that we've started it, we never finish because we don't have a process. We don't have a strategy. Now, I completed the February newsletter. If you haven't seen it, go to DanisSheldon.net, download it. You have to join, you have to create an account, but you will then have access to the newsletter. Here's the thing. In that newsletter, I actually gave you steps for a routine. Easy routine. Why is that so important? Because if you could do one thing, and then if we can habit stack, what is habit stacking? It means that I have a habit of doing one piece. And then once I do this for 7 days, I stack another habit on top. I do that, and now I'm doing both habits, right? Then I stack another habit. The habit stacking works because not only are you doing it at your own pace, but you're doing it in such a way where it's beneficial to you. What does that do? Once you do it over and over, it creates the habit. Once you have the habit, it's now ingrained. Not only consciously, but subconsciously, this is something that you do. And so that's why the 5P transformation is fantastic. It gives you strategy so you can have a process. It helps you to appreciate the mind thought process. It helps you to appreciate some of the behaviors and actions behind your thought process. It talks about your purpose. We dig in. We deep dive in. Okay? So if you're easily distracted, then you are a person that begins to focus, but then you go somewhere else. Your mind is somewhere else, and you may not complete the task, right? Someone who is a burnout achiever, someone who is burned out and they've achieved things. You need a plan. You need a strategy. You're burned out because you're doing everything for everyone else, and you've achieved their goals. But what about your goals? What about your goals? If you're a skeptic, right? You don't believe the transformation is, oh, I love the skeptic. They don't believe the transformation is even possible. I love a skeptic because they don't believe the transformation is possible. Why do they not believe that? They don't believe it because they are not connected with their purpose and the passion about that purpose. I'll say it again for the people in the back because I know I just stepped on a toe. I know someone just looked at the screen and yelled at me. I know it. A skeptic does not believe that the transformation is possible. Why don't they believe the transformation is possible? They do not believe the transformation is possible because they're out of alignment with their purpose. And if they're out of alignment with the purpose of their goal, and when I talk about alignment, just to be clear, I'm talking about who they are and who they are not in relation to someone else. Okay? Who they are not in relation to someone else. And when I say not in relation, I don't care that, this is my uncle, my aunt, grandpa, grandma, cousin, niece. No. You're identifying because of someone else. You're identifying because, oh, this person is related to me in such and such way. No. No, my friend. That's not what we do. When I talk about alignment, I'm talking about first, and thank you for the follow. Guys, continue to tap your screen, invite more people in. When I'm talking about who you are, I'm talking about what your beliefs are, what your values are, what qualities are you trying to cultivate, right? That's what I'm talking about. Right? And so when we begin to look about the goals, the values, the qualities, the beliefs, when we talk about those things, that is the core of who you are. And because those things are at the core of who you are, there's no doubt in my mind that you have to cultivate. We all have qualities to work on. Let's be clear. We all have qualities to work on. That never goes away because we're human, right? But what I'm saying is, what I'm helping you to appreciate is those qualities are defined or refined even more in class. Why? Because as you look at who you are, you begin to remember the purpose of the goal. So you get in alignment with your vision. You have clarity now. You understand what your goals are. You have a process. And the beautiful part about the skeptic, thank you so much for the likes and the follows. The beautiful part about the skeptic is that their purpose have to align with their vision. The challenge is your vision is murky. And the reason it's murky is because you're not in alignment. You're not in alignment with your values, your goals, or the purpose and the purpose of the goal, right? And how do we do that? You have to practice. The skeptic, sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. So what I'm helping you to appreciate is the class is not something recorded. The class is not something where you look at a video and we're taking notes. No, ma'am, no, sir. This class is something that I am facilitating. It is something where we get into the mind. We spend a day in, literally, the first thing we have to do is get into your mind. Then we talk about a how. What is the process? Then from the how, you have to practice. Why are you practicing? Because what's the point in having a plan if I'm not going to practice it? What's the point in knowing, understanding that there's something I can do and I don't take action? Right? So this 5P transformation, this is not something pulled out of the air. This is something that when I went through and I understood it, and I understood how it impacted me, and how my actions and behaviors impacted others around me, then the beauty in it is I began to look at things completely different. And when I say completely, I mean completely different. So with that being said, this is not something I don't want you to take away that you're going to sit and take notes at a class where it's a recorded video. No. That's not it. I personally am facilitating this class because it matters to me that people are on autopilot. It matters to me that people are unaware of what they can do. It matters to me that people don't understand how the mind trap that they're in impacts them. And so because it is such an impact, it requires delicacy and care. I'll say that again. Our mindset impacts us so much, and it has such an impact on our behaviors that it requires delicacy and care. And so I would be remiss if I did not look at the different types of personalities that enjoy the class and didn't bring that to you. And so because of that, I don't do classes that's $500. No, I don't do stuff that's, $1,000. No. That's not what this is. This is genuine love and care for those that are interested in having a life transformation. Guys, I was on autopilot for a little over 10 years. I understand the process. I was a young widow. By the time I was 32, 33, I was a widow, right? So I understand what autopilot is. I understand what overthinking is. I understand what procrastination is. The autopilot piece is stuck with me for years. And that is because all I knew was I had to go. But I didn't have a process or a strategy in order to continue going. I was completely burned out. And so with that being said, that's why the personality types, that's why I know about them. And I'm sure some of you out there hold some of these personality types. You probably hold 3 or 4 of them, just like I did. And so with that being said, it is imperative. It's imperative that when we start talking about transforming our life, and I'll tell you the process just so we're clear. When you begin to transform your life, it literally starts with an idea. I see here quite a few people here. So you're here because there is an idea. You want a mind shift to success. You want to hit goals. You want a life transformation, right? And so if you're here due to that, that means that you're looking for something that's going to give you an experience, a transformation that you're looking for. So with that being said, when we talk about the overthinker, this is for you. When we talk about the perfectionist, this is for you. When we talk about the doubter, this is for you. When we talk about the procrastinator, this is for you. When we talk about the skeptic, the person that's skeptic, the burnt out achiever. I love that term. You're burnt out, but you're achieving things. You're burnt out from all the things that you're doing, but they're all for someone else. They're not for you. Do you understand that? You are literally burnt out from everything you do for someone else. You're taking the time to do it, but you're burnt out from their success in helping them, but not really knowing who you are. Ashley, take the class, sweetie. Let's go. Let's take the class. If you look up top of my profile, you'll see DamieSheldon.net. You'll see something that says course. You click on it. Once you click on it and you hit course, you will literally see the class. It starts on, and I'm so sorry, I put 227. The class starts on 224. I'll correct that. My apologies, guys. Right? So what I'm saying is this class, it has something for everyone. And the reason it has something for everyone is literally because I understand exactly what you're going through. I understand the mind trap. We've been hiding certain things for so long that we feel it's normal. This is amazing. We've been hiding certain things for so long that we feel it's normal. It's not normal. It is not normal to be burnt out all the time. It is not normal to be frustrated all the time. It is not normal to be demotivated all the time. It is not normal to be distracted all the time. It's not normal. Invest in yourself so you can know and understand some of the mind challenges and how it impacts your behavior and how it impacts your emotion. And when you understand that, I promise you, the word logic is the number one word that will stick in your mind. Yes, Ashley, yes. Yes, please. You are burnt out. I understand the burnout. I understand the burnout, right? So when we talk about a life transformation, the internal struggle that we have just as people, period, across the board, the internal struggle. I'm not even talking about what we project out to others, right? I'm not even talking about what we project out to others and what we think we want them to see, but they actually see something completely different. In our mind, we're showing this, but they actually see something completely different. So let's not even get into the mind, the mind trap of what we do internally and then what we project. I'm strictly trying to talk about or help you to appreciate that everyone struggles, but we do not have to stay in the struggle. Right? So that's why I was saying, if you are a skeptic, a procrastinator, a doubter, a high achiever, you're burnt out, you're frustrated, you're unmotivated, all of those things, you're a doubter, you're easily distracted, all of those things are touched on in the 5P class. And to be clear, I am not going to send you through a whole bunch of videos. I am actually facilitating the class. I've worked with someone who's a perfectionist. I've worked with someone who's a procrastinator, right? I've worked with those type of people. If someone is a procrastinator, while that is a habit, that is something that can be changed. That is something that can be reversed. But here's the piece most people don't realize. And I'm just going to say this, and we've got a few more moments to go. Here's the piece that most people don't realize. The patterns that have already been set, and please continue to tap your screen. The patterns that have already been set are patterns that have been there for, 5, 10, 20 years, right? 15 years, 3 years. Maybe it's a pattern that's been there for 6 months. You're not helpless. Nope. Ashley, no. Ashley, no. I refuse to believe that. Nope. Not helpless at all. Those patterns that have been set have been there for so long that we do it subconsciously. Every pattern that's been set, for every one time that you do that particular pattern that's there subconsciously, in order to undo it, you need at least 4 to 5 actions of the same thing to begin to undo it. So if I'm a person that, and I'll use this as an example, if I'm a person that wakes up every morning and I tend to not make up my bed, I need to begin to make up my bed at least for a week before I need to make my bed up. Before that train thought that I had needs to get untrained. See, we've trained our thoughts so much so that now the actions are trained. And if the actions are trained, then guess what happens? We begin to do it over and over again. It's subconscious. We just do it. What I'm helping you to appreciate is that can be removed. There's no such thing as hopelessness. No such thing. Ashley, take the class. Let's talk about it. You and your husband, both of you guys, sit and take the class. Right? So everyone has struggles, right? Everyone has struggles. I firmly believe that the 5P transformation is a structured, organized, systematic way of doing things so that you come out of the struggle. So that you're not seeing yourself as a procrastinator, so that you can remove the skepticism, you can remove the procrastinating, right? And does it take work? Yes. Is it complex? No. I didn't say it was easy. I said it's practical. Nothing is ever easy that we need to work for, but it is practical, right? So with that being said, I have a structured approach to overcome these challenges that we just talked about. And if you're looking for a transformation in your life, then this will be the class for you. Okay. So with that being said, are there any questions? Ashley, thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, guys, for the follows. I see quite a few follows here. Thank you so much. Right. And one other piece, guys, I want you to know, you can actually expand your capacity for success. I want you to know that you can expand your capacity from success. There are 3 things I talk about every time: mind shifting to success, hitting and maintaining goals. And once you do those 2 things, you're in for a complete life transformation, hence the 5P transformation, right? So when you talk about expanding your capacity, right now your plate is full. Move something off of the plate so you can put something else in. Move the collard greens off the plate. Move the chicken off the plate. Move the potato salad off the plate. It's too much. It's too much there. And when it's too much there, you're on overload. And when you're on overload, what happens is you're now in a place where you're unable to do things. Yes, move it off the plate. You've got potato salad, collard greens, sweet potatoes, chicken, fish, a roll, a muffin, right? Mac and cheese, green beans. You got too much on the plate. You've got too much on the plate. And because too much is on the plate, we have to remove something. Stretch that capacity. Stretch the capacity so you can have a measure of success. We do things that are not beneficial for us, and then we complain about it. That's not beneficial. It's not beneficial. So I'm trying to help you to shift from I'm helpless to I'm being helped. I received help. I'm now helping someone else. Does that make sense? Thank you, Rama. I appreciate that. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that. Does that make sense? I want you to go from I'm helpless to I'm receiving help. I've got the help. Now I'm helping someone else. Now I'm helping someone else. How can we help someone else if we're full to capacity? We don't have anything to give. We don't have anything to give. And when and if we don't have anything to give, then it stretches us. And when it stretches us, we become overwhelmed. And that's why we procrastinate. That's why we don't make moves. That's why we are skeptics. That's why we don't believe we can have a life transformation. Right? So with that being said, it is 9:02. I've been on here for some time. If you're interested in the class, go up top to DanisSheldon.net. When you go up top, thank you, Mr. Radio. I appreciate it. When you go up top to DanisSheldon.net, you'll see something that says courses. Click the course, and then you'll see something that says schedule the course. Once you hit schedule, it'll bring you up to a page. You'll see everything there. This class is for you. Okay? Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you all for liking the live. I got quite a few follows. Thank you so much for that. If you're interested in the newsletter, it's free. All you have to do is sign up and you'll have access to it. And to be clear, the newsletter is not sent out monthly. It is actually on the website. So you'll just log into your account and you'll see the new newsletter each month. I put one out each month. This month is about cognitive load management. The load is heavy. The load is heavy. And when we talk about load, we're talking about the capacity, what we have going on in our lives, how the mind handles an overload of information. Okay, so please feel free to log on. You will see that and you can download your own personal copy. All right, thank you all so much. This is Thankful Thursday. Thank you all so much for being on the live. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.